Well, hello and welcome to Little State Big Voices with myself, Shahidah, and my fabulous co-host, Tracey.
Hey y'all.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm moving and shaking. This weather has been what I would consider disrespectful. So, I'm doing my best out here in these streets because I be outside.
The daylight savings day messed you up this morning?
That did not, because I'm a night owl and I was up
Mm-hmm.
when the time changed on my watch. I was actually watching TV and I stay up into the wee hours. So that was nothing for me. I actually went to bed at like 6 a.m.
Damn. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna I'm not gonna ask what you and your husband were doing up until 6 a.m. That's your
I
business.
mean, no, sir. We were
That's your
watching
business.
TV. He was watching TV. It was not that serious.
So it's so funny that you bring up the watch. And this has nothing to do with really anything, but I'm a little tired of my Apple Watch.
You're tired of it, so
In
explain.
general, one, it's like I love the fact that it, for when I work out or when I walk, it clocks it or whatever. But when I don't have it, I feel like if I do any bit of exercise, does it really count? Plus, I was looking in my jewelry box the other day, and I don't even have a lot of jewelry, but I have a lot of watches. That was my thing. I don't like earrings. I don't like bracelets. I don't like rings or anything. You never see me in any of those. But before I got the Apple Watch, you always saw me in a different type of watch. Because I have
Uh-huh.
a lot, and I spent a lot of money on some very good watches. That's what I loved. And I'm like, I don't wear these because I'm so busy with trying to track steps or trying to, track what my exercise routine or whatever. And I think now I want to go back to my watches.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, I love it for the tracking. Like I'm on it,
Mm-hmm.
and you're right. If you forget the watch or if it dies or something, you're like, I might as well sit down because none of this
Like
counts,
it's so
which is
it's-
which is a crazy mentality.
it is.
Excuse me, because it's always, you're always burning cap. But if you can't clock it, you feel like it's, you know, just it doesn't matter. But so I mean, I guess I agree with you. I think that if that was your thing, it would be nice to kind of go back to it. And I know there's a way you can maybe set up your phone so they can count some of your activity, but you'd
Right,
have to
you
have your
can.
phone on you at
Mm-hmm.
all times. Or you could consider maybe toying around with different types of accessory straps for the Apple Watch because
Mm-hmm.
they do have some really cool ones. Robbie actually bought me one year. I don't know if it was one of the holiday grabs or a birthday gift or something, and it was a really beautiful rose gold version of the
Remember? Mm-hmm. I
yeah, so that
remember.
was cute.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I
But
personally
it's the
yeah,
face too. It's the face too that I
yeah,
miss. I
yeah.
just miss a traditional watch. That's it. So I
You
thought
could
about the ring that a lot of
oh
people are
yeah,
wearing that tracks everything, and that's probably no, it's about the same. I was gonna say it's probably a little bit more accurate, but I don't think it is because if you have your watch on, you have your watch on, but it could track sleeping more because I don't wear my watch at night. Like usually I take everything off at night and I don't
same.
wear it to sleep. So um, I know a lot of people use it for tracking, but I don't. But no, it's the face. I miss the design. I miss a pretty gold watch. I miss having a watch. And so I'm looking at my watch this morning. I'm like, am I gonna put it on? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not even going anywhere except to pick up my grandson. But I got my old this one is this one is a not an expensive one. This is just a regular old Anne Klein with the Roman numerals. I love it.
There you go. I mean, if you love it, I love it for you. What I
But
will
you know
tell
what?
you, yeah,
The battery's not working.
girl, you just what you
I
call it,
forgot.
posing. You just posing. You got the thing. So
Nope, not working.
so I only ever wear this band. If I change it, it's because I'm going somewhere fancy.
Mhm, mhm.
The thing with me and watches is I never wore watches until I got the Apple Watch. I stopped wearing watches
Okay.
in like middle school because I
Yep.
don't like how it feels on my wrist. I don't like how I barely wear bracelets. Like I happen to have this charm bracelet on right now,
Mhm.
but I barely wear stuff on my wrist because I especially watches because I don't like how it feels.
Right.
So, but this doesn't feel like anything. This is like,
Mhm.
rubbery. It's non-invasive for me.
Mm.
So that's the reason I love, the Apple Watch. And my mom, you can't tell her about her Fitbit, girl.
Oh, I still love Fitbit.
She loves her Fitbit. I went over her house yesterday and she's like,
Mhm.
"Before you go, can you take a look at my Fitbit because it's not XYZ?" And I was like, "I don't know anything about Fitbits, but I
Mm.
quickly figured it out for her."
Yeah, I that was the first watch I had was the Fitbit, loved it. It had basically a Fitbit is everything an Apple Watch is. It really
Mhm.
is. And if I had to do a comparison, I actually like the Fitbit just a little bit more. It edges it out. But like for me with my Apple Watch, I have several different bands because I am a watch person. Again, not a ring person, not a bracelet person. I do like an anklet though. I don't know why. I
I
do
was
like an
looking at
anklet in the summertime. That's the only bit of jewelry. This, a watch, and an anklet.
Okay. I was looking at anklets the other day and I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna need a big one because the ankles be cankling for
Mhm.
me in the
Mhm.
summertime. But I was like, I could get into a cute anklet. But as far as the watch goes with the Fitbit, so I don't know because I never been a Fitbit girl. Can you take
Mhm.
calls on it and can you listen to music on it?
You can listen to music on it. You could attach it to your headphones or whatever it is that you're wearing. Now, when I had it, it would alert you of a phone call, but you couldn't talk through it. But that was 5 years ago now, way before COVID, because I ended up giving because my son bought me the Apple Watch and I had just gotten a new Fitbit and it was like less than like a month, so I gave it to my mom. So she might have upgraded since then, but when I gave it to her, that was the only thing you couldn't do was talk on the phone.
So that's like the one thing I will say about my Apple Watch is like if I'm cooking dinner and my phone's somewhere else,
Mhm.
I can just like quickly tap and accept the call and I can talk, which
Mhm.
reminds me of like the Jetsons or, like I'm a
Mhm.
spy. I'm talking,
Mhm.
I'm Roger Moore. I'm talking, I'm
I do it all the time in the office because my phone be blowing up and I be way on the other side.
yeah.
So I accept
So
calls through the watch. But you know what? Don't need it. For
don't
me,
need it.
don't need it.
Yeah.
Don't need it. I'm okay with it. So we'll see how long it lasts.
And
I'm
even
pretty
when I'm
happy.
listening to something, if I'm listening
Mhm.
to something in my earbuds and I'm like, oh, I missed that part, I can tap the screen and it will rewind.
Yep.
Especially if it's a book, like,
Mhm.
we're doing book club this month. If I missed a part in the book, I'm like, oh, snap, my phone's away. I can tap that back. So there are some things that I do like. You could do your little emojis, you can text,
Mhm.
talk
Mhm.
to text. So a lot of the features I'm just an Apple girl. I'm an iOS girl. I drink the
Mhm.
Kool-Aid. So, yeah.
And that might be part of my problem too. I might be feeling that I don't want to be a Apple girl anymore. I don't want to be an iOS person anymore. I really considered going back to Samsung. I used to have the Samsung Note. Love
Mhm.
that phone for everything it had. The only reason I have an Apple is because the communication with my kids, all of my kids had it. And then and I know they're going to be mad, but when my grandson got an Apple, I was just like, I need to be in touch with Derry. So that was the swing over for me. But yeah, the watch I'm not married to, and I think I'm going for a separation.
Okay, well, let us know how that goes, girl, because you cannot get me to go back to Android. I did Android for 10 days,
Oh
and
no,
it
I
was
don't
the
think I'm going back to Android. I don't
okay.
think so because still everybody is connected through Apple.
Whew,
I don't think I'm going to use the watch for a while.
okay,
I probably
yeah,
will like when I go to the gym or something, I might bring it with me, but I'm not going to be as tagged into it as I was before. I think I'm over that part.
yeah. So
And
my
then plus two, tracking. These mofos are tracking us.
but the Ring, girl, they gonna be tracking you on the Ring. So
I know, but it's Apple. I don't want Apple tracking.
so
No, so it's true. No matter where you go, your phone, that's it. They
yeah,
know
you're
where you
always
are.
being tracked. Yeah. So I just, I'm gonna stick with Apple. I'm gonna keep riding with them for the time
Mhm.
being. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But yeah, let me know how that goes for you. I'd love to hear your feedback on transitioning back to watches because watches are also pricey, like, especially nice ones. I mean, you can get some nice, cute,
Mhm.
reasonably priced ones. If I ever went back to a regular watch, it probably would be like the calculator one. Remember the Seiko, the calculator watch? It has like the little calculator on it. It's like
I
almost looks like a
remember
little
that was
computer.
such a long time
If
ago.
I ever did
Yes.
it, that's the only
Really?
one. Yeah, because I think that's just cute and it's fashionable. So I would do that.
Well, obviously, I need to go to the watch store because no battery, and I
Yeah,
have to
yeah.
check the other. I looked at, like, 6 of them because I have this one and another thing that used to get me was I'm gonna stop after this. I love a man's watch. I have
Like a big
several.
face.
Big face. I have one that, oh, what is the designer? But it's blue, but that is my
G-Shock?
favorite. No, what was it? It's, does it begin with an F? I can't think of the name off the top, and I remember Jabril tried to, "Sir, put my
He
watch
tried to
back.
he tried to come for it. You
Put
gotta
my
get him
watch
one.
back." I did buy him I did end up buying him one too, but no, that's my thing. I for a long time, I was obsessed with men's watches and
Yeah.
still am. But anyway, back to the show. I'm sorry. I am
10
sorry,
minutes on watches.
basically. But Tracy started out with, like, the weather, and I feel like I mean, it is what, March 9th today?
Yes,
Yep, today's March
International
9th.
Women's Day. Happy
Mhm,
International Women's Day.
mhm.
Yes.
And happy for that, but as far as New Englanders go, get yourself together, Shahida. As far as being a New Englander, we are seeing some of that snow slowly melt away. I'm starting to see grass in my backyard, and also noting that, you know what, it's that time of the year where I gotta start calling landscaper, get that stuff in shape for the summertime. So anxious
Man.
about that. So we seeing the snow and everything do its thing, and the weather is changing. But we are suffering from the harshest winter that we've had in many a moons, many of seasons, many of years. We had a harsh winter, and we are suffering with these goddamn potholes.
Let me tell you something. Between the snow,
Mhm.
which is turns into water and ice, and then the salts needed, the amount of salt needed to remove it is tearing up. First of all, it's tearing up my back steps, um, which are
Okay.
were
Mhm.
bricks and are
Mhm.
now just mush.
Dust.
Yes, and so, I mean, the amount of, like, home repair stuff that I'm gonna have to do
Mhm.
is one thing, but these streets, baby, these Providence streets are raggedy as hell.
Yeah.
They are
Asphalt
raggedy.
asphalt just breaking up all over the place. So I was reading, and what made me wanna talk about this is there's a couple of videos out of, like, people around the city, just showing how huge these potholes are. I mean, they're craters. They look like Godzilla just stomped in the damn street and left a big old crater in the ground. There's a lot. And if you are driving fast, now the highways are fine. The highways and most of the state throughways, they're okay. But it's the side streets that are taking a beating. And especially if you're driving at night and you're driving pretty fast on a street that you are not that familiar with, you are very likely to hit a very deep pothole because you can't really see it. And some damages are being done to cars. First of all, I don't like driving at night, but I have slowed my butt down. The WPRI this week did a report, and Rhode Island streets rank last. Out of all the 50 states, we rank last with our roads. There's 32% of Rhode Island state roads are classified as in poor condition as of
Well,
2024, and that was the last report that was done. That was just 2024.
I'm glad you gave the date because I was gonna say they were terrible
Mhm.
beforehand, so they're only worse now. And with the constant street construction that we've had. So it's like,
Yeah.
between the water company trying to lay new pipes because all our pipes have lead in them and they've been slowly poisoning us for years.
Mhm.
So they've been ripping up the streets, doing
Mhm.
that. They've been ripping up the streets, doing whatever road work that they've been doing. I know they got these infrastructure dollars, so I think they just poured it in. And then whatever they've been using to fill these repairs is not it. It's not it,
No,
baby.
just the
And then
Band-Aid.
I saw a video, it was so cute the other day. This guy took a rotisserie chicken. I was like, "Where is he going with this?" A
Okay.
rotisserie chicken and
Mhm.
dumped it in one of the craters on the street. I'm like, what is this? What is he trying to do?" Chicken pot pie, girl.
Sir.
Chicken pot pie
First
with
of
the
all,
rotisserie chicken
sir,
in the hall.
food is too expensive. Food is too expensive in this day and age for you to be dropping off any kind of chicken. I wonder if you got it from Walmart.
Or he was feeding the rodents. I don't know what he was trying to do with that rotisserie chicken. He was committed to the bit though.
I have something about the rats in a minute, but I did want to go back to the roads. So, what you were saying is so very true. The last collected data was 2024, but this has been the last 10 years that Rhode Island has ranked 50 in
Mm.
all of the states for having bad roads. Now we all know that what is his name? Peter Alviti has been the head of the Department of Transportation for those 10 years, and he was just asked to like step down, and so we're having somebody come in to fulfill that job very soon. But the budget went from $490 million to over $1 billion during his tenure. Where's that money?
Not in those streets.
Over $1 billion. I would love to know what the budget is for, and we know Massachusetts has these issues too, but we are ranked 50. So that means all these states we beat out to have the worst roads. So, and we have over $1 billion in the budget, and this is what we're dealing with. Granted, like you said, it wouldn't be as bad if they weren't so bad for the last 10 years.
And everybody and their mother drives a Honda Accord in Providence. Don't drive a low car. Do not drive a sedan because you're going to tear
Yep.
your undercarriage. Thank
Mm-hmm.
God we drive like a small SUV because even us, we can feel it. When we hit the run, like if I'm not
Oh
quite
God, yeah.
paying full attention, I'm feeling that bump. And at least I'm not worried about my muffler too much. I'm not worried about my undercarriage, but those low riding car, oh my gosh, they're getting tore up. I've seen videos where the
Mm-hmm.
stuff is bumpers just coming right off.
Yeah, I saw that too. I saw a bumper come off. I saw something from, I don't know if it was the muffler. I don't know if it was the muffler, but oh my God. And that's painful to see. But there is an online, I guess, site. I mean, I guess I don't have it, but I'll give it to you so that we can upload it. That if you do have damage to your car and it's on a state road, that you can get reimbursed. I don't know how good that is because we know that when you talk about getting reimbursed from the city or the state, that it doesn't work out that well.
On that note, I do want to say that I had a situation where I know someone who works for the state that got a ticket for parking on the street. Now, we had the snow wind Sunday, the 22nd and 23rd. Like it was in Sunday
Mm-hmm.
into Monday, that big snow, 4 feet of
Right?
snow. I understand a parking ban
Mm-hmm.
Tuesday. I understand a parking ban the days of the storm. I understand a parking ban even into late Wednesday. Thursday, you give someone a ticket Thursday morning for parking on the street in Providence. That's insane. And this person works for the state. So I was like, you need to go and fight that girl. We're gonna fight this together. Me, you,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody's AI is gonna fight this ticket together because we're not gonna let
Mm-hmm.
this happen to you, sis. And so
Mm-hmm.
now she's in the process of getting that ticket waived. $250. Like this
Yeah.
is not election year behavior, Poppy. This is not how we're supposed to be doing it. Okay. The streets need
Mm-mm.
to be
Mm-mm.
together. You can't be giving people who are already in financial straits, housing crisis, food desert, all the things that are happening around us. You cannot be giving people $250 tickets for parking on
Mm-hmm.
the street. Where they going to park? Those offsite locations you have. Okay, you get there, you park your car there. How you getting home? The bus ain't running. Stop playing with us. Like, don't do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Don't do
Yeah,
that. So
that was crazy. So there is a number that you can call. It's 401-222-2378 to report the potholes on your street. And, they just go under a long list of all the other potholes. So just like the whole thing with the waiting on the Department of Transportation to get to the streets in Providence, it was pretty bad. So I'm not sure how quickly they're going to get to these roads to fix the, potholes, so that's another thing. But another
Douglas
thing that the
Douglas Adams
winter
stuff.
yeah, another thing that the winter brought, and I just found out this from a couple of people telling me this story, are rats hiding and biting people's wires or chewing up their wires in their car. I didn't know
Oh.
that that was a thing. If especially if your car is parked next to a dumpster, that's the likelihood of that happening increases because I've never heard of that. Even though I was told by my daughter that there were squirrels going into one of her friend's cars, and he lives over there near Shaw's in North Providence. So there were squirrels going in and biting up his wires, and I think he drives like a BMW. So imagine it, and it happened a few times, but there is something in the wires, and somebody said something that some of the wires are soy based, and that's what
Mm.
attracts some animals, especially rodents, to attack your wires. So there's issues with that, which I didn't think of. I thought because I know that when it's cold outside, some animals do try and go up into your engine, and I've heard plenty of times about like, you have a cat up there, and then the next thing you know, that happens to us in Mattapan when we lived in Mattapan many times in the wintertime.
Well, I
So
think
we
it's
had
because
to
it's
honk the
it can be warm under there, so sometimes they're looking for a little residual warmth. I have heard of animals, specifically rodents, nesting in people's cars. There was actually an episode of like, what was that? Pimp My Ride, where this guy had that problem. There were like
Mhm.
a lot of rats in his car, which is disgusting. And that's the thing. It's like, okay, if you park in your driveway and your garbage is out there, if you park in your garage and your trash is there, you're gonna attract mice. It's like, are you supposed to keep your I guess you gotta where are you supposed to put it? You know what I mean? But that's
You have to
crazy
keep
that
the area clean and then your trash contained. It has to be, so it's
but
one
the
thing to have
dumpster
your
is a whole
trash out there.
other.
Yeah, but some people like if you live in an apartment building, those are dumpsters. Sometimes
Yeah.
those are dumpsters in those apartment buildings. And also, one of the things that I never had like a big rodent issue. I heard my fox out there this morning howling, so that's one of the reasons. But also, like, especially in the summertime, what I tend to do, just in case, I put peppermint oil where my garbage cans are to keep
Mhm.
rodents away from it. In the summertime, and the only reason I say that in the summertime, I don't know, if for me, I feel like my trash smells a little bit more in the summertime, so I'm constantly washing it
Yeah.
out. And then after I wash it out, I always put peppermint oil on cotton balls, throw them in there.
I
So
planted mint in the yard
I've done that too.
to try to keep them away because we live not far from Atwell's, not far from a lot of restaurants, and that's usually a big source of
Hmm.
rodents. There's a Chinese restaurant at the top of our street. No disrespect to my people, but they have a huge dumpster that
Hmm.
attracts all kinds of activity, I should say,
Hmm.
from people dumpster diving and leaving their dumpster open to overflow to all that other stuff. So yeah, man, and I wonder what the insurance company would do. That's my main thing is like, is the insurance company going to do something about that? Is that covered? Like now I want to call my people and be like,
You have
"Hey,
to check. They will a lot of times will cover the claims, but that's if it's in your insurance policy. So if
yeah,
you're in like a high risk area of like, rodent infestation, and usually the cities are, or if you're having construction done near your house, that's a problem. Because I remember when they were doing the big dig, there were rats
yeah."
all over downtown. Boston Common was full, and people live in that area, so I know that they were suffering.
They were running across people's feet in the Copley Mall at certain restaurants who will go unnamed.
Yeah, it was rough. I
And that's a
remember
high-end mall. That's a fancy, fancy mall.
what was it? Was it the 4th of July? One 4th of July, me and my kids, they were little. We were in Codman Square. I mean, not Common Square, Boston Common, watching the fireworks. No, we were walking back from watching the fireworks. And girl, my foot went into a hole. All I It's lucky I did not break my ankle because the panic that I had that this was a rattle, and it was. I know it was, but luckily nothing. But I'm just saying, me trying to get my ankle out of that hole because I already knew it was rampant at that time. You would always see them at
Yeah.
the Green Line, that station right there at Boston College.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was
The
insane.
train tracks? Oh, the mice love love living on the MBTA. Orange
Mhm.
line, green line, red line, they love it.
So everybody suffers it, we understand, but, can you imagine if you're a hardworking person and you go out to your car and you don't have disposable income to always fix your damn car and rats have been chewing at the wires?
You got me really
That's a
thinking, girl, because
heartbreak.
you
That's
got
a
me
heartbreak.
thinking, I gotta now I gotta pop my hood because a girl's curious to see, hopefully
You
they
would
haven't.
know. You would know
Yeah,
because
car
it
would probably
would
wouldn't start. Yeah.
a lot of times it won't start, and then once you do if you do start it, because everything is so, like, wired digitally, you would see a lot of things pop up, so you would know, but it is
Mm.
scary. But I would just say, pop up some of that peppermint oil, throw it
Yeah,
around
no,
there
I love it. Cotton balls, peppermint oil going up. Now we quit Amazon, right? So I gonna have to go to Walmart
Yeah, I mean, what
or
else?
the bodega. I can go to a little bodega. Maybe I can get in
To
some
get some
essential oil.
peppermint oil, I
Yeah.
feel like you can go to oh, no, you know where you can go to? Lowe's.
Okay.
That's where I would get it for the trash cans in the summertime. I would get it for,
And we still like Lowe's a little bit. Their CEO is
Lowe's,
black, so
definitely
we still rock with
not
them.
Home
Not,
Depot.
not.
No, F them. Anyway, what else is going on, sis?
So speaking of the Providence streets, because so much is going on. It's like we have such a little state and so much drama in our Rhode Island streets. So there was an incident that happened a couple of days ago that involved Police Chief Oscar Perez and a driver. So what happened essentially, and I will post the video to our social so people can actually see. So there's a guy that had a fender bender with Chief Perez, and he got out of his vehicle and he went toe to toe with him. He said,
Can I
and
ask a question?
yes,
Who hit who?
so he hit Officer Perez.
Okay, go ahead.
So I'm just gonna go back. The alleged perpetrator is 31. He rear-ended the chief's unmarked vehicle on Broadway on Friday afternoon. So this just happened like a couple of days ago. And everyone who's watched the video, even a lot of men, because this is a younger Latino men I've been seeing posting on social were like, you know what, dude, you went too far. Like you went too
Ooh.
far. Even people who don't really ride for the police like that were like,
Mm.
let him have been black or dark skinned
Mhm.
because you wouldn't you probably it wouldn't have gone down that way. So people were applauding the chief's decorum in the situation, and then they ended up calling other people because he was threatening the police chief. So they ended up
Did
calling
he know that
backup.
he was the police chief?
I'm glad you asked. So he did know, and he actually recognized him for denying him parole 3 times. Someone
Sir,
allegedly has an anger problem.
you recognize first of all, you hit that man.
You
So
did.
you hit that man, then
Yep.
got out of your car, and then recognized him as the police
Got in
chief
his face.
and
Got in
still
his
got in his
face.
face?
Yes.
Yeah, please post that video. I would love to see that video.
Yeah. So they did end up taking him and they called backup. Yeah. And the chief did, identify himself. He's like, blah blah blah. He probably didn't recognize dude because he deals with a lot of people on a lot of cases. So I don't know if he recognized him or not. Providence is small. Maybe he did recognize him, but he did try to de-escalate and the guy didn't want to be de-escalated. So,
That is wild.
yeah.
That is
So that
wild.
happened in Providence. Let's see if I have names. So so we have the police chief's name, Colonel Perez, and Galdames is the last name of the gentleman. So I will post the video on our social so people can see. And he's just like, he's so angry. He's so mad. But, again, one of those things that is like privilege. You know what I mean? I think
Mhm.
there was some privilege there because they were both Latinx men. And I think he recognized, like, they recognized that in each other. And that's why the person could go that far. And the police chief, and I don't know his interactions with any other races, but I think things would have gone differently, if that was a black man. I could definitely see a Caucasian getting up in his face like that. But
Mhm.
I was
Mhm.
surprised. But, I
Like
don't know
they
how
were like this. They were like this face. He was
it
in his
was
face like
in
this,
the video. In the video, yeah.
nose
Yeah.
to nose. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
But
Uh,
yeah, he lived to tell and what you gonna do.
okay.
But that happened and it was interesting.
So I have something interesting. So
Okay.
like I said, I have been stuck on the relationship part of Threads. I just be getting the craziest stuff. And honestly, I'm trying not to be on social media that much, but some of it is like absolutely hysterically funny. So I have this video, and can I share this video now? Let's see, but I don't know if you could hear it. Here,
Like,
okay.
you can't just move her in here. Yeah, fuck no. This house jointly, so I can let her move it if I want. Absolutely not. And I'll get a fucking eviction notice. How about that? She's not coming in here. Yes. No, she's not. You and Helen can go fuck yourself. She spread her legs for you and you got her knocked up, and that's not my fucking problem. Fuck up.
What did I just watch?
Wait, I'm sorry.
What did I just watch? Because the skeptic in me is like, oh, this is a skit. They're playing, they're trying. But when he slapped her at the end, I was like, oh, that felt real. That felt so real. Ma'am, first of all, where do I start? Where do I start? But can I tell you that the way my ADHD mind works, I was really like focused on her cutting those apple slices the wrong way. And I was like, ma'am,
I know, me
you're gonna cut
too.
yourself.
No. And
That's
then it was just like, you don't, go ahead. You don't know how to cut an apple, but go ahead.
You don't know how to cut apples. That's a problem for you because you're about to stab yourself and be in the hospital, and that lady's gonna move in while you're in the hospital. But anyway, ma'am, why are you going back and forth with this man? Why are okay? I'm trying to understand
Why this was a conversation?
why he even had the balls to ask you, number one.
Big
Number
balls.
two, after you told him 2, 3 times, he kept going, why are you not just telling him to remove himself immediately? Get out now. It's giving you stay at home, he pays all the bills, and he's financially and emotionally and physically, obviously, abusing you. Because why? Why? Because you have kids with him? That's not a reason to stay, baby girl. Not at all.
Mm-mm,
Not
mm-mm,
at all.
not at all. I, like you, was dumbfounded at a loss for words. And I was like, am I being rage baited right now? Because is this real? But because I have an issue, but I noticed that a lot of people do this. This is a thing that they will set up a camera and proceed to have full on conversations, arguments, showing their kids having tantrums. That's where we are right now. So
Yeah.
it could be 100% fake, but it could be 100% real. You just don't know. The audacity of any man to go to his wife that he cheated on and got somebody pregnant and talk about she's being evicted. Can I move this woman into our house? She can babysit. I'm trying not to curse during Ramadan, and I'm not going to right here. But you MFer. You MFer. You C-sucker. You SOB. There is no damn way that you could come to me and ask if another woman could come to my house who was laying up with you while you were married to. First of all, he wouldn't be there to ask me that question. Because why is he not gone?
And she's pregnant. She's obviously bad with finances. What value is she bringing into, like, you go be with her. Go save her. I'm gonna go work 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 jobs. Even if I have to open a family daycare in my house because I have kids and I can't leave. I'm going to find a way to not be with you. And you can go be with her and she can be with
Once
you.
you
And not here. Not in this space.
No, no, not where you are this bold with your big balls asking me this, but also when I filed for divorce as the legal wife and as the legal father of those children, they come before all your outside
And
kids.
you
So
had a
even if you
knife.
had
You had
another
a knife.
outside kid, well, I don't want you to go to jail. Wreck the car, cut up his clothes.
You had a
Don't
knife
do
right
physical
there.
harm. Not with the video camera all set up. No, I'm not going to condone
And
that.
I'm hoping that she uses this video for some kind of family court evidence because she wants
That's
to,
what
like,
someone
file
said.
something. So I'm hoping that she's going to use this to help her get, like, spousal support, child support, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But it reminds me of a conversation I had earlier this week. So I was actually out getting my nails done, and I was talking to somebody in a conversation. 'Cause, women, when we get our hair and nails done, conversation starts. So someone was telling me about a woman who has a son who's on the spectrum, about my son's age in mid-20s. high functioning. The young man has a job, but he lives at home with the mother and stepfather.
Mhm.
And there's this push to either get the son an apartment or get him his own property or get him something away from the home. And I'm like, well, what's the push to get him out of the house? Is it because he's
Mhm.
grown up and you want him to
Mhm.
just move out on his own? I can understand that. The problem that the mom is having is that the young man's father is ghost. He's gone, his biological father, and the
Mhm.
stepfather will not support the mother in her efforts to help the child either get into another property or get into an apartment. And they own multiple properties of their own, all in the husband's name, all in the stepdad's name. The mom is a stay at home mom. And although it is feeling like he's pushing the son out, he's also not helping her, and she doesn't have the finances to help her son. And I'm like, so why
Mm.
are you even begging this man to help you with your son? You have other children with him. If he feels like, well, that's not my child and he's an adult, I can
Mm.
understand maybe a boundary there. I don't think is very kind. But again, this woman putting her son's future into this man's hands because you got to run everything by your husband. Like, women, let's stop being, it's International Women's Day, International Women's Month. Stop with the weak stuff. Please, I need y'all to stop it. Put your big girl drawers on and stop letting these men run you around by the nose. This is why we're in the situation we're in this country. This is why we have the administration that we have. Y'all looking to your husband for everything, all guidance, and no self-esteem, no, just to make your own decisions and make decisions together with a spouse who is emotionally stable. Like, stop, please.
Yeah.
Please.
I have several things to say on that. That's sad. That's extremely sad. That child of hers, even though as an adult, because he's on the spectrum, he will need, extra services. And you might be able to find like some place for him to live that is actually regulated, because I
Yeah.
think the the city is in the process of building homes for people who are on the spectrum and
Yeah.
in Providence, Rhode Island. So that's one thing. But the other thing is, I know that it is extremely difficult to find somebody who is kind enough to marry you and then love your children. Now, I don't
Mm.
expect you to love my children, but I need you to understand that I do.
Right.
And I'm going to do what it is to protect my children in any situation. And if you have an issue with that, then marriage might not work for us. A
Yeah.
marriage might not work for us. I did not like when my own husband would come home and make my kids feel like they had to be like extra quiet and couldn't be rambunctious and just have freedom to be themselves. I do not like that,
Yeah.
young or old. So I always look at women suspect. You don't need penis that bad. You don't need that extra income that bad. You can find a way and make it on your own. Understand this is what you want. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you want a partner. One thing I can say I always say this about my parents, and it's probably true of you and your husband. When you say you're putting your children first, it's not above your relationship because you both have the same goal. My
Yeah.
brother and I, we know that we are not above my parents' relationship. And that's healthy. And that's the way it's
Yeah.
supposed to be. But my father and my mother have both of our interest at heart. When my father does things for me, my mother knows about it. When my mother does things for me, my father knows about it. My father might call and be like, I can't believe your mama, or my mother, I can't believe your dad. But they know there's no
Yeah.
secrets about what they do for their children. That's the goal. And you can find somebody who is a stepfather and that's their goal too, because they love
Yeah.
you. So it's very sad situation. And like you said, for that mom, I don't know how you're going to figure it out. What I feel like she'll probably end up doing is probably finding some housing like that, whatever town she's in will offer her child on the spectrum.
Yeah.
But if your man has all these different properties, he can't give this child an apartment.
And on top of that, the way things are kind of built out is like, what if something happens to this woman? Because that's her main fear. If something happens
Yeah.
to me, what happens to my older child and the children that she has with her husband? She's almost certain they're going to inherit whatever their father, or their father will take care of them.
He
What
will.
happens to her? So here's what I was suggesting. This woman from the video, because I know this triggered originally from this. I think that both women should consider removing themselves from those marital situations. And I'm not telling anyone to leave their man or not try to work on their marriage. But for the first woman, it's like this man already disrespected you. He stepped out on you. You forgave him. I can understand that. I'm not judging you for the forgiveness, but now he's using you as a doormat. It's time to
Mhm.
exit stage right, baby. Heavens to Murgatroyd on that one. Let's go.
Mhm.
So, and this other lady, if your spouse is showing you that they just don't give a damn about your kid, to me, that means you don't care about me. I'm not asking you to financially support him,
Yeah.
but help me to
Support
help
me.
support me to support him. So I highly recommend to this woman in the situation with the son on the spectrum, get life insurance for yourself and for your son. You should
Yeah.
have that because he
Mhm.
can have life insurance that will build cash value that he can draw on. And maybe you can make somebody like, a part two beneficiary or something, because the young man's high functioning. So he is very intelligent. And I think he works like in like a regular full-time job. So he has his own income. He could pay for his own life insurance. You should have life insurance. You should have life insurance on your husband too. The whole family
Mhm.
should have it. And then I also think that she should maybe help him split his paycheck. So what I do with my son, and I recommend it to all my kids, is have multiple bank accounts when you get your paycheck. Don't just have one account for direct deposit. Have one that's a saving, have one that's a checking, have another one that you simply don't touch. And you could do
Mhm.
5% into, you could do it by percentage. So your payroll will normally let you split it up at least
Yep.
2 to 3 times in different accounts. I was like, put some money into the housing account, have mad money, and then have a savings. And then the money that's going into the housing account, that's where you could draw the mortgage from if you get him a small condo or a multifamily. Get him a
Mhm.
multifamily. You and your son can own that multifamily to yourselves, and then you can have revenue, maybe help him with that. I feel like people need to think outside of the box. This woman up there cutting up them apples the wrong way, sis, you need an exit plan. You really, really do, because I'll be damned if you're going to come in here with your hoe to my house who's pregnant talking about she can't
Around
watch
my
my
kids.
kids. Because both of y'all disrespected me. I made vows with you. I
Mhm.
didn't make no vows with her. She can't come
Exactly.
in here. And I'm not blaming the mistress by any means, because the husband is 100% the only one who owes her a damn thing. But the fact that
I'm
he
blaming
got
that
so
hoe a little
aggressive.
bit. A little bit.
I mean,
Because she
listen,
coulda she might not have known that he was married, so I'm gonna give you that grace, but then once you found out he was married, you can't ask to go stay at some woman's house.
we don't
I
even know if she knows. We don't even know if she's asking to
exactly.
go stay with him.
She
You know
knows
what
he's
I'm
married.
saying?
She knows
She
he's
does
married
know.
at this
Yeah.
point, and that,
Yeah.
to me, at that point, you either are giving your apologies and telling this woman, "I had no idea," or if you did, you thought he was gonna leave, then you need to come and collect him.
Yes,
Unreal.
absolutely.
The
That was
the
crazy, but
audacity of the
him
dude.
slapping her at the end, sir,
Or
not you
even
slap.
his tone of voice. Will you just listen? God damn.
When he called her bro, I was like, no, he did not call her bro. You're talking to her like that's your pal, your buddy. This is your wife that you have children with. You clearly don't respect her. And the way he's writing for this other woman, just leave me. Still recording? Are we still there? Can we connect the dots?
What
Can you hear
happened
me?
was, I don't know if you got a call, but you did freeze for a second. So if you could just repeat what you said, ma'am.
Yeah, I don't know what I said, but that was Teresa calling me. Teresa, stop calling me.
That was a little technical glitch that we had because obviously Teresa had something that she needed to say twice to Tracy. No,
I'm
go
saying
ahead.
I'm gonna call her after this. But I was just basically saying, like, listen, I'm not here to judge anyone for why they stay in relationships, but when abuse is involved, to me, that's zero tolerance. Infidelity. I understand people work through infidelity. Sometimes they, stay and have long-term successful relationships, that's not always a deal breaker. The deal breaker with this apple slices is that man, his voice got really rough, really aggressive. It escalated. He slapped you. Whether it's a skit or not, someone can learn from watching this. If you're being treated like this, you got to get out. Take your
Mhm.
children, go to a family shelter. Actually, put him out if possible. That would be ideal. But if you don't have money and you don't have a job and you're relying, you can still work two, three, four jobs. Have someone help you with your children. There's got to be a way. You cannot stay in that situation because it only will get worse. It will not get better in this scenario.
And I'm not sure if said to her, "Can bring her in this house and set her up in the living room because I pay the bills." So
Oh, I didn't
that
catch that part.
I'm not sure 100% if he said I pay half the bills or if I pay the bills. So it could go back to what you were saying about her not having a job, being a stay-at-home mom. She didn't mention how many children that they had, but she was too calm in the beginning, at the beginning of the conversation because she obviously is holding in a lot of anger. She's already angry about the situation and not kicking him out. I don't feel like that's good to her mental health anyway. So
That,
she definitely needs to think about her mental health and maybe separate herself from him for a while. But she's probably thinking, if I separate and tell him to go, he's just going to go to her. And in her pride is probably not wanting that to happen. But ma'am, I get it, but he has to go. For you to have any type of peace of mind, you're just going to have to be mad that, I mean, let me tell you something. My ex-husband cheated on me, right? I was angry about the situation. But then after a while, you have to stop being angry. And it's like, who are you hurting at that point?
yeah.
Worrying about another woman, worrying about where he, is, or them getting back together. And yes, they ended up getting together and having a whole child together.
Mm,
But was I worried about it like 2 years afterwards? No, I was not, because
yeah.
you have to let it go. And I think that's part of the thing is a lot of women have it in their head that if they let it go, they don't want the other woman to win. She's not winning. She's not winning. You're winning because you're walking away and you're finding a better life. You are the winner in that situation. And trust me, I had to talk myself into that, but I definitely wasn't dragging it into like 2, 3 years of my life. I
Yeah.
was not.
And the thing is that it could be the other way around. I totally profile this woman. She might be the breadwinner for all I know. And in
Yeah.
that case, girl, definitely if you're the breadwinner or at least 50-50, he can kick rocks. You definitely can leave in that scenario
Mhm.
because it that's not even hard for me because I will find a way to get childcare because that man is not the father figure that belongs in your household because he's showing you that he doesn't respect you as a wife, as a mother, as a partner, as a friend, nothing. There's no respect there. Nothing he was doing
Mm.
was a sign of respect. And you're not losing. So, like you said, sometimes it's ego, sometimes it's pride, sometimes people try to hang in there for their children. If you don't want that person in your life,
Mhm.
let them go. You know what I mean? Because he clearly doesn't really want her. And if you kick him out, where is he gonna go? Homegirl's getting evicted. So they gotta find a new place together.
Mhm. And it doesn't matter even if they do. And I think that's part of I think that is the biggest issue is that women really think that they're losing something when men cheat with another woman or whatever. But they feel like they don't want to be the one that loses. But again, you're not the one that loses. He is. And he's going to go on and he's going to probably be with that woman and their child together. And then, the bigger part is that she's going to have to make amends with that because that is her children's half sibling. You're going to
Yeah.
have to make amends with that because there'll be times when those two are together and they have their own place and he has visitation. If he's not too much of a deadbeat, he's going to have visitation. Your kids are going to go over there and be like, oh, my little sister so and so. And that's going to, ugh. But you got to get over that too, because it's not that child's fault either that they
Yeah.
got stuck with two crappy parents who don't know what, fidelity is like. So it's a lot. You got to get over it, and you might as well start the process now. You might as well
Yeah.
start the process now.
Definitely. Definitely. It's unfortunate, but a lot of people show themselves later. It almost
Mhm.
feels like this is how this man has been the
Yeah,
entire time. So
it
if you
does.
can avoid even getting into the scenario, and speaking of avoiding having a child with someone who's really not fit
I
to
know where
parent,
you going. Go ahead.
can we talk about former Patriot Stefan Diggs and his mom, Stephanie Diggs?
Do I have a video on that? Is it a video? I don't think it's a video.
I
I
don't
think
know
it
if
was
there's a video or
just
not.
yeah, it's not a video, but we'll bring up her picture.
Let's bring up her picture and he who shall not be named's picture as well. Not the son, but the owner of the team. So listen, as a mother, if you hurt my child, you hurt me. I understand that. But if my child is doing fuckery, I'm I may ride for you in the house, but I'm not gonna go stand up on a soapbox outside in public and confirm your tomfoolery. So Stephon Diggs has been released from the Patriots. His mom, Stephanie Diggs, says that this is targeting, that they're targeting her son for his personal life. Bob Kraft, the owner of the Patriots, said this is strictly football related, has nothing to do. He's been released for job performance or whatever, or something related to the NFL. Personally, he has too much drama going on. And I've said this before on the podcast. We had Aaron Hernandez, we had Antonio Brown, we've had several members of our Patriots team cut up publicly, and it's not a good look for our team. That's not the persona that our team wants out there for their branding.
And they've always been that way.
They've
They've
always been
and
that
they
way.
have a strict reputation for being that way.
Yep, you got to keep your nose clean. And Stefan continues to have legal issues, personal relationship issues. He has several women that he has fathered children with, and he just kind of like hops around treating life like he could do whatever he wants. That is not how life works. And Mama Diggs, that's not how it works. Your son can do certain things because he has a lot of money. That's the only reason. If he was just Stefan Diggs from up the street, he could not be cutting up this way and not be under somebody's jail right now.
One of the comments was, "You need to talk to him about using some condoms," which is true.
Yeah.
Be mad
Like,
about that part. Be mad about all these damn babies. I
yeah.
can't even. But she should be embarrassed. She should be embarrassed to come out and say what she did. I understand that you are angry and that you felt like she basically was saying that she felt that they lied to him when they knew that he was going to be
That they were
cut.
smiling in his face and
Yeah.
backstabbed him.
hmm
Yeah.
First of all, it's the Patriots. I don't know what to tell you, but any team or any job situation, no matter what it is, unless it's your own business, unless it's your own team, of course, because of negotiations and lawyers and how they want to be perceived so that they don't get sued, yes, they are going to smile in your face while they are writing that letter about dismissing you, whatever situation is. And if you are bringing the drama to the team that they don't necessarily want, because we still don't know what is going to happen with that case him abusing the cook or the chef.
Yeah,
We don't know
strangling
what's
her.
going to
Yeah.
that's some serious business. He put himself in that situation.
Yeah.
He put himself in the situation where with all these different women and having, I don't know. I don't know what went down with him and Cardi or whatever, but that's still talk out there in the social medias about him and her. That's still drama. It's still drama.
And where's the accountability as a mother? You
There
should
you
not
go.
be out there treating your son like he's a perfect angel. Because based on what he has shown us, not from one incident, not from two incidents, multiple incidents, public
Mhm.
incidents, we don't even know what happens when the cameras are off.
Mhm.
This man is a menace. We've seen it. We've seen him be a menace. And this is why I said, Cardi, I love you, girl, but this is someone you frolic with. You
Ugh.
do not procreate with that type of
Or
person.
honestly, is he even somebody you frolic with? I don't want a man that is consistently sticking his penis in women and making babies.
Nor do
Because
I.
it obviously you don't care about your health. So I know you're not going to care about mine. So why
Right.
would I even want to frolic with somebody that has that reputation? I mean, I get it. When you're younger, you don't think or whatever, so even in the frolicking you're thinking one thing, but at the end of the day we have way too much to lose, and in
Yeah.
our lives we have children, we have way too much to lose than to be with people who don't respect their own bodies.
And what was I saying the other day? All this is cute, all these multiple baby mamas, until you don't have the funds to actually support these children. If you don't continue to get picked up by teams,
That part.
that money dries up. No one's going to want you as a commentator. Absolutely
Mhm.
no one with your reputation is going to bring you on to do sports commentating or anything of the like. You'll have to start your own thing, or you'll have to go on. I don't know what you're going to have to do, but what kind of job can he get where he's going to make the money that he's making now? Can you act? Can you do technology? Can you run a franchise? I don't know what his other skill sets are, but football is clearly it's your passion, it's your God-given gift. That's what you can do. Maybe he could play overseas. I don't really know what his options are at this point, but we've seen good players get traded. We've seen
Mhm.
excellent players. And Diggs is a great player. No one's denying his abilities, but he is too much trouble. He's too much trouble.
How old is he? I see that he played for the Minnesota Vikings from 2015 to 2019.
Huh.
Then he went to the Buffalo Bills 2020 to 2023, then the Houston Texans in 2024, and then the New England Patriots in 2025. Dude, ooh.
Yeah, you've been passed around a lot, baby. You've been passed
Mhm.
around way too many
Mhm.
times. Let's see. How old is Mr. Diggs?
He's been a 4 times
32.
Pro Bowler, 32. So he's running up on his career being pretty much so done. So the longest he's actually stayed anywhere was the 4 years with the Vikings.
I graduated from high school when he was still a glimmer in his mama's eye. He was born in 1993. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
that's a lot. I mean, you really need to. So how old you say he was? 32?
32. Yeah.
So I feel like at 32, especially with men with money, they still think that they have many, many, many years left. They don't
Hmm.
need to settle down. They don't need to get right. They still feel very invincible. But 32 in football years, you had a nice, good run, and you probably still have a couple of more years of a good run. Notice the last few years you've done what? 1 year at one football organization, a year at another, and then now this one.
Yeah.
That's not a good look.
And don't
So,
get injured. Don't get injured because you're not Tom Brady. They're not going to give
mhm.
you a year to get
Mhm.
better, keep you on the team. You're not Jason Tatum, even, baby, because Tatum, we saw him come
That's
back
a
after 10
franchise
months.
player.
He is that dude. And the whole time, you didn't hear a boo about what Jason Tatum was doing in his personal life. All you heard about was that man was recuperating. He was in the gym. He was getting his life together. We know him as an upstanding citizen, father of two. We know very little about his private life, which is for the best. We shouldn't know that much about your private life. It
Mhm.
should be private.
Mhm.
It should be private. But you're not doing yourself any favors. And then his mom co-signing his bullshit is not
Yeah.
helping him. That's not
Yeah.
helping that young man. And she's
It's
got to
not.
understand like that's not how you do it.
Mhm.
I would definitely not publicly be out here. I would say nothing, you know what I mean,
Exactly.
before I would
Mhm.
say what she said.
Yeah, I wouldn't say anything. And like you said, because if she's saying this, then she is actually giving him the green light for the behavior.
Yeah, to
I
keep
would
doing it.
hope that she would be out there, because me personally, especially after the second baby that you're not married to and the second woman, I would be all into that.
Yeah.
To the point, I would be all into that, because I do not like the idea of you or any of my children out there just spreading their seed and not committing to not only the woman but your family that you just decided to make. So I would have an issue with that. Granted, people are grown, they still gonna do what they want to do. Those will be my grandbabies. I will love
Yeah.
them unconditionally, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna be looking at them and I'm be like, this is not cool. This is not
Yeah.
how you was raised. This
And
is not cool.
if you care about your son, you're going to care about his health, overall
Mm-hmm.
health. You're going to care about these grandchildren that he's producing, and you're going to care about his financial future security, because these women don't care. If he's living on the rest of his life off of a contract, whatever's left of that contract, you think they're not going to drain that contract? They're going to keep
Mm-hmm.
going to family court, getting their money. Cardi might be the only one. I don't know the other women who's in a position to be like, you know what, I'm good. Keep
Mm-hmm. I don't
keep
think
that.
so.
Keep those little coins. But those other girls who we don't know, unless
Mm-hmm.
they're, making money, or they have the integrity to be like, you know what, I'm not going to take you for child support, which I doubt. I'm sure they're all taking you for child support, as
Because they
they
should.
should, as
They
they
should
should.
be taking them for child
They're
support.
gonna they're gonna drain your little savings real quick. So you have to
That's
think
why
about your future.
keep it in house. That's how you maintain your financial status, by keeping it in house, not her house and then her house and then her house. That's just draining all of your money for no damn reason. Wear a condom, get a vasectomy. She whiz.
Yep, and the difference between him and Nick Cannon is Nick Cannon have 15 jobs, okay? He can they can cancel, what is it, The Masked Singer tomorrow, and Nick Cannon got 2, 3 more other jobs, 4 more,
Mm-hmm.
5 more other jobs. I don't know what Stefan Diggs has for investments. I don't know what he has as a backup plan. It's given you don't have much of a backup plan because you don't seem like a planner, sir. So,
Yeah, I mean, because at least with Cannon, we know that that was his intent, to make all those babies. Stupid and still dumb, and from a financial perspective, it's still dumb, because
yeah,
again, you're just
risky.
bleeding your wealth out to all these different people, and again, and you're obviously going into situations with women that you should be a little bit have some discernment with. So it's still stupid, but again, like you said, at least he has other jobs, and his jobs are not reliant on his physical health,
And he's often
his
the
top
producer,
tier physical health. Yeah. So
right?
he's in a different category.
And Nick Cannon is very sick. He's very ill. Like, he's not even
Oh, he is?
a well man. Yeah, he has, I don't know if it's multiple sclerosis. He has some kind of neurological disorder.
Oh,
So
I
he's
didn't know
not
that.
even well, but a lot of his projects he produces himself. So that's revenue. He's taking money and investing money
Mm-hmm.
so he can get money back, and he's been pretty successful doing that. So it's just, you got to have a game
Mm.
plan. Everyone has to have a game plan, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen with Stefan Diggs. I feel like he's crashing, he's burning, and I just don't see him continuing on a better trajectory. And then the people
Mm-hmm.
around him, especially the one who should be the most honest with him, is not being honest. That's not a good look, I think, as a parent. And I don't
Yeah.
know their road, I don't know their journey together. I don't know what he's been through. But regardless of that, you cannot encourage this type of behavior. And you can't blame other people for what happens to your, like,
For his decisions.
why would you trust a pro sports team to, why would you believe anything they say? Unless it's in writing, I don't believe you. You
Mm-hmm.
can you can say all the platitudes you want, but unless it's in writing, I don't believe anything you say. I just don't.
And like you said, not being a planner, the goal should have been, you had the yellow brick road all laid out for you for Oz.
Mhm.
It was there. That Patriots, a great team, a comeback team, a building team. So they're young. You had all the assets right there for you. You had Cardi B, everything. And Cardi B was taking you to another level, because I didn't know you before her. A lot of us
Exactly.
didn't know you before her. So she took you to another level. You could have been, this season alone, you could have been top tier at, in the top boxes at her concerts, on the red carpet with her. Your life was looking golden. And you blew it up for what? For what? All you
Come
had to
on.
do was and even if it wasn't Cardi, commit to one of those women, commit to a woman, build a life, go and play for the Patriots, not beat up on chefs, not have any outside drama. All you had to do was go to work, travel, have a good time, spend your money, dote on your kids. You couldn't even do that, sir. 32
Especially,
years old,
especially the allegations of him putting his hands on a woman.
choking her
The,
out. Gee
the,
whiz.
the thing is that I tend to believe the allegations. That's what's crazy. It's not like, oh, they said it about him, and I'm like, not Stefan. It never even crossed my mind that he didn't do it. It
Mm-hmm.
did not cross my mind that he did not do this action, which
Mm-hmm.
which he might not have. But
Mm-hmm.
everything I've read about him in the press leads me to, yeah, it tracks. It tracks for his type of behavior. There's a pattern here.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
pattern here. So
Unfortunately.
unfortunately, but I'm sure more on that. I don't know what's going to happen with his career. Like you said, he's, not everybody gets to play until they're almost 40 or 40 years old,
Mm-hmm.
like Tom Brady. Most people, this is where you start wrapping it up and need to look for a fork in the road. So don't know what his fork is going to be unless he takes custody of his kid and gets child support, because I don't know what your backup financial plan looks like, but
Let me take custody of Cardi's kid
of
because that's the
Cardi's
only one
kid,
that. Oh,
yeah,
that's hilarious. Yep,
yeah.
yeah. That would be some guaranteed income. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Judge is not granting that.
Cardi's daddy alone would not let that happen.
The
And
judge
he's
is not.
probably, and I love Cardi's parents because they were like, they was not having it when she told him she was pregnant with that. That's a parent.
Yeah,
That's a parent. She didn't even want to tell them that she was pregnant because she knew that they were not like, oh, that's cool.
yeah,
So, not
yeah.
like Stefan Diggs' mama. Come on, girl. What's her
Man.
name? Stephanie Diggs?
Stephanie,
Do better, ma'am.
the ego in the family is strong. You name the child after yourself.
Do better, ma'am. Do better. So, wow. Is that it for us this week?
That's it. There's so much more to talk about, but we can talk about more stuff next week because drama continues to unfold in Rhode Island, outside of Rhode Island, all over. We got so much. So we'll be posting continued videos. The one thing I will end on, again, International Women's Day, and it is Women's Month. I want to alert people to the giveaway that we're doing for the Voices in You books, the collection. The author was
Mhm.
generous enough to give us a book collection, the entire series, plus some freebie surprises that will also be included. So if you enter the contest by following us, following The Voice in You, all of the information's on our Instagram and our Facebook. Follow, like, tag a caregiver, a teacher, a parent, anyone who might benefit from also being part of this giveaway. We're going to run it until March 15th, so you still have a few more days to do it. And we'll mail it anywhere within the continental US. Even, you know what, if you're in Puerto Rico or Hawaii and you win it, or Alaska, I'll still send it to you. So
Okay.
anyone in the United States can enter, and we will post one lucky winner. And for anonymity's sake, because of the nature of the books, I'm not going to publish the full name. I'll just put the initials of whoever the winner is when they win, and I will mail those books off to you and the freebie. So J. Renee Roden is the author. We featured her on our episode a few weeks ago. You can go back and listen to it if you're unsure about what the books are about, but they're about children's and body bomb.
And that's so important. I've read quite a few things this week on just the travesties of what young children go through. But that's for another time. We'll discuss
Yeah.
it later. But have a great week.
Yes. Until then.
Women, raise up, celebrate yourselves, mental health, celebrate your physical health, celebrate you in knowing that you deserve better than some man coming to you asking for his mistress to move into your house. Celebrate you.
Rate yourself, girl, because you'll be on Snapped if you stay in these kind of relationships. But
Mm-hmm.
until then, you know where to find us. We are on social media. We are on Facebook and we are Instagram. Right now, those are our only social media platforms. You will also find us if you'd like to listen or watch the podcast. We are on iHeartRadio. We are on Spotify. We are on Apple Podcasts, wherever podcasts are heard. Someone saw me this weekend and said, "Hey, I listened to your podcast," and it
That's
made
so
us feel
cool.
so good. So thank you for listening. We want that participation though. Feel free to comment, feel free to share with other people, especially if you love podcasts and, you know, You could listen in the car, you could listen at work, you could listen in your earbuds, do your thing. We want you to just continue following, liking, sharing, commenting, all the things.
All of the things. All right. So until next time, have a great week and we will see you next weekend.
Yes, yes.